With the cost of housing here in the GTA, specifically Vaughan and Toronto, it's no surprise that many people, especially younger people, are house poor. To be clear, being house poor simply means that the majority of the income that people make is being spent towards the properties that they live in. And with the cost of housing these days, it's not really that hard to break down the math that whatever people make versus what these properties cost and what the mortgage payments are per month, that it's very unaffordable for people to save money and put money aside and in order to live in the properties that they want to, that whether it's a detached home, semi-detached home, condos, whatever it is, people, in order for them to afford these homes, are limited to having certain saving funds. The truth is, many people spend 65% or more of their income in the property that they live in. And that can be the mortgage payments, upkeep, whatever it is. The properties that they live in is costing 65% or more of their income in order for them to live in that property. And it is a high number. Back in the day, yes, properties cost less, but they also made less. But these ratios were never this high. And that has a lot to do, obviously, with the big increase of the market value of these properties here in the GTA. So who knows if it's going to be slowing down, but this is trending a lot with the younger people who have grown up in bigger houses when they were younger, and this is what they're used to. Now coming into being in a position to afford a property when you have a family yourself. And for them, they want to be able to give to their kids what they were lucky enough to be living in. So they look for detached homes, and they're really spending at the absolute max of what they can afford. And later on, they end up feeling that and realizing that everything that they're making, or the majority of what they're making, is being spent on the home that they're living in. This can be even worse for people who are not bringing equity from a previous property into the next one in order to make that mortgage payment less. So the people who have properties before that, maybe let's say you're going from a townhouse to a detached, you were able to benefit from the increase in market value from the previous property you had, to be able to transfer that over to the next property as a down payment. So you're not feeling it that much compared to, let's say, someone who's a first-time home buyer and needs to have X amount as a down payment, and then the rest is being a mortgage. You have a big advantage over people in those situations. But you can imagine, first-time home buyers, you're rarely spending a lot of this money, $1 million plus, on your first property. And if you are, that's a situation that makes people feel it a lot because of the fact of how much they have to put down and whatever the mortgage payment's going to be, especially with these interest rates being 4% plus. People are really feeling it today. And it's important for people to understand that, there's other ways to do these things. You could move on up into a property. For example, like I said about people jumping into a detached home. The best thing to do, me myself, I'm living it, is buy a townhome, then eventually go into, let's say, a semi, and then go into a detached, or get a condo, then go into a townhouse, and then go into a detached. Like, there's many ways to do it instead of just jumping in too soon into a property that might be over your budget, that later on you may regret it and look at other options because you simply cannot afford the property you live in. Like I said, the problem is that people of my generation were grown up in homes that are very spacious, and nowadays properties are being built so small that people don't want that. People don't want to feel like they're tight in a property, and they go for the properties that are bigger. It's making people feel like the space that we had as children is what we should be passing on to our kids as well. So it is causing a dilemma for a lot of people. I advise people just be careful. Don't look at just the now, because things change in life, and make sure you're staying within your budget. If you're comfortable with what you're spending and you're leaving a little bit of room to be able to save money, that puts you in a better spot to not have to later on change your mind and be forced to sell because things change and you simply can't afford it.